Hi grade 5 and 6, welcome back to your first lesson of guitar with Mr. B. I'm super excited today because this term we're going to be looking at a new technique, a technique I love. I love both techniques a lot, but with this term we're going to get into some finger picking. So we don't need our pick, you can fling it away, but don't fling it too hard because you want to be able to find it. And we're going to be using this right hand just as it is, okay? Just naturally like that. We're also going to be looking at the key of C. Instead of the key of G, what we were focusing on a lot last time, when using our American chords, we use G as our 1, D over F sharp as our 7, E minor as our 6, D major as our 5, C major as our 4, G over B as our 1 over 3, A minor as our 2, and back to 1. So that's 1 was our G. This term, we're going to look at the key of C. So C is going to be our 1. Alright? So let's try and play these chords together. There's going to be an extra chord that comes in that's a bit harder. And I've explained this one to you before, and it's going to be F. But let's wait till we get there. So first up, we're not going to use American chords. We're going to use regular chords. Remember that, regular chords. So not this C, we're going to use regular C. And how do you hold it? Follow along. You're going to take your ring finger, put it on the 3rd fret of the A string. Next, you're going to take your middle finger, put it on the 2nd fret of the D string. Then you're going to skip the G string and put your index finger on the 1st fret of the B string. Okay, so 3rd fret of the A, 2nd fret of the D, 1st fret of the B. So the G and high E string have nothing on them, and we strum it from the A string. Make sure none of your fingers are slanting down, because you don't want them to be touching the string underneath. So for example, if my middle finger is slanting down and touching the G string will sound like this. That's not good. When you're slanting your index finger down, the high E string will sound like this. You don't want that. You want your G string to sound like that, and your high E string to sound like that. So make sure you roll your fingers up. And another tip, don't hold them on the back side. Hold them on the front side of the fret, of each fret. So that means this finger should not be here, it should be there. This finger should not be here, it should be there. And this finger should not be here, it should be all the way at the front. That's how you get a good sound. From the A string, remember C is always strummed from the A string, not the low E. Okay? Just like that. That's our chord number 1. In the key of C, our chord number 2 is going to be D minor. So how do you hold D minor? Middle finger on your G string 2nd fret, ring finger on your B string 3rd fret, and index finger on your high E string 1st fret. And any D chord, whether it's major or minor, strum it from the D string. So you should hear that minor sound. Okay? That's your 2 chords. So far, C major, your 1, D minor, your 2. 3rd chord is very easy, that's E minor. So what you're going to do is take your Spider-Man finger. Remember Spider-Man shoots his webs like pew pew. And we're going to put them right here. Middle finger on the 2nd fret of the A string, ring finger on the 2nd fret of the D string. And for any E chord, whether E minor or E major, strum all of them from the top. So make sure you hit them nice and good. That's your 3rd chord. So far, C major, D minor, E minor. That's 1, 2, 3. Now let's get to the slightly tricky one. Chord number 4, that's F major. So, if you're holding F major, you're going to imagine you're holding your C. Just hold your C for now. If this is your C, all you're going to do is you're going to take your middle finger down to the 2nd fret G string. You're going to take your ring finger down to the 3rd fret D string. And this is the tricky part. For this 1st finger, it's going to hold 2 strings at the same time. You're going to press on the B and E string. And you can do this. You can flatten your finger if you want, so that it's going inwards like that. Don't let it be like this. I mean, you can if you want to, but sometimes you get more force like that, okay? So whatever works for you, but you have to try and get both of them. So, right there, 3rd fret D string, 2nd fret G string, 1st fret B string, 1st fret high E string, held with the same finger. Strum it from the D string. Now this is a hard F. So if you're struggling with this F, what you can do is, you can just roll it up. So only allow this 1st finger to only hold the B string. And the high E string can remain nice and clear. So it's only holding the B string. then the high E string is clear. So this is an interesting chord. It's still F, but it's actually called F major 7. But it's also known as easy F because you don't have to hold both. But still, I always want you to try to hold both strings. More points if you can hold both strings. So let's try that. C major, chord number 1. D minor, chord number 2. E minor, chord number 3. So watch that slide ring finger there. F major, chord number 4. Okay? Just like that. Let's try to hold that F together. 3, go. One more time. Hold that F. Remove it. Put it back on. Feel the burn. Even I struggled with it when I was your age and even older. So that's your 4 chord. Now, 3 more. Your 5 chord is going to be a regular G major. So we're used to holding our American G like this with these 2 at the bottom. But this time we're going to remove our ring finger, keep our pinky where it is on the 3rd fret of the high E string. You're going to take your ring finger up to the low E of the same fret on the 3rd fret, and then you're going to take your middle finger onto the 2nd fret of the A string. Just like that. And for a G chord, you're going to strum all of them, just like an E minor, okay? Or an E major. Right there. That's your G. So do, do, do. Now at times I'll let you cheat and let you hold like that. I don't mind as long as you hold it well. But if you hold like this, more points. Okay? That's your 5. So let's do that all together. C major, 1. D minor, 2. E minor, 3. F major, 4. G major, 5. Make sure you're strumming all of them from the right place. Now let's go to our 6th chord. Our 6th chord is going to be A minor. Really easy way to get this is hold your C major the way you've been doing it. Now remove your ring finger. Keep the other 2 fingers on, your index and your middle. Keep it on. Keep them on. And you're going to take your ring finger and put it on the 2nd fret G string, right underneath your middle finger on the same fret. And you're going to strum it from the A string. Okay? So that's called A minor. It's kind of like an E minor, but you bring these 2 down and you put your index finger on the 1st fret of the B. Strum from the A string. So let's try switching from a C major to an A minor. So C major, remove your ring finger, put it underneath your middle finger, other 2 fingers remain, A minor. One more time. Only 1 finger should be moving. C major, A minor. Let's get all the way till there. So first chord, C major, C major, 1, D minor, 2, E minor, 3, F major, the hard one, 4, G major, 5, A minor, 6. And now what are we going to hold for 7? We're going to hold something called a G over B. It's kind of like the American version like we're holding here. Remember that one? But this time we're going to use our middle finger on the 2nd fret of the A string, and we're going to put our pinky finger on the 3rd fret of the B string. So only those 2 fingers. Your index finger and ring finger should not be holding anything. So right there, 2nd fret of the A, 3rd fret of the B string. And you strum from the A string. You strum from the string that your middle finger is on. That's called G over B. That'll be our 5 over 7, okay? Try it again. G over B. One more time. G over B. Alright, let's go through all of those together. Up till 1 till 1. So start off C major, 1, D minor, 2, E minor, Spider-Man, 3, F major, 4, G major, 5, A minor, 6, lift that middle finger up at that pinky, 5 over 7, G over B, then back to C. So you need to know all those 7 chords for the stuff we're going to be doing, okay? One more time. C major, D minor, E minor, F major, G major, A minor, G over B, C. Okay? Cool. So, practice those chords, get them down really, really well. Make sure you work especially hard on that F major. That one needs a lot of work. The G major just needs a bit of stretching for that. And if you can hold this one, that's awesome. Later on, I'll let you hold this one, but I really want you to try work on this one, okay? So really work on that F major. Feel that burn. It's really gonna hurt and it's gonna suck so much right there, but push through. It'll be worth it in the end. All right, so practice those chords, and I will see you next week.